can start this evening with breaking news from Gail Davis, who is at the Emirates. What can you tell us, Gail?
Well, it's a deal that we've been talking about since the early hours of this morning. Jorginho is now an Arsenal player. I'm just quickly scrolling through because, of course, he's done his interview on the club website. So I haven't had a chance to actually listen to that and get you some quotes yet. But we saw him a little bit earlier with his agent, didn't we? In his Arsenal kit, his Arsenal socks, and confirmation from the club. An 18-month deal with the option of an extra year as well. Remember, last 6 months of his contract with Chelsea. So it's a fee of around £12 million. And Mikel Arteta has talked a lot in the last few weeks. He wanted to strengthen that midfield position. We know how well Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka have done in that central midfield role, but we also know that Mohamed El Neni has picked up a serious injury. Confirmed today he'd had an operation on his knee and they desperately needed cover there. It wasn't perhaps the midfielder many Arsenal fans thought they would get. Remember, Moses Caicedo was told by Brighton that he wouldn't be leaving and Arsenal had hands off, but they have got themselves a new midfielder for the run-in this season, and that huge amount of experience that he brings as a Euros winner and as a Champions League winner as well will no doubt help Arteta, who's a big fan of his. Tried to sign him Arsenal tried to sign him back in 2020 and when Arteta was part of Manchester City's coaching back in 2018 as well. So they have a midfielder in their ranks on deadline day.
Thank you very much indeed. So that is the breaking news. Jorginho is an Arsenal player signing from Chelsea this evening. Let's see what our panel make of that. Sue, I'm going to start with you because I've heard a lot of negativity from the Arsenal section on this signing today. It's £12 million that they were expecting Caicedo. They've got Jorginho. Can you understand that rather lukewarm reaction to this?
No, I think it's a great signing. I think it's a position that Arsenal needed to strengthen. They wanted to strengthen. I think with obviously El Neni, with the injury, we don't know how long Partey's going to be out, but I think they wanted to strengthen in that area anyway. So whether the Arsenal fans, I suppose they wanted Caicedo. They were seeing that this could potentially be a deal. Brighton said, no, he's not for sale. But I just think Jorginho, I think with his experience, I think his leadership, the fact that he's a winner, he's brilliant on the ball, and you just think, you know, he's got that calmness, that composure, get on the ball, and he can feed the likes of Martinelli and Saka. So I think what some of the Arsenal fans have said is he might slow the game down, and Arsenal don't play that way. But I just think he's a top quality player he can adapt to, you know, sort of any team that he goes to. So I think it's a great signing for him.
Chris, when he's on the pitch, does he change the way Arsenal play? Will he slow them down?
No, I mean I think good players will sense the moment when they do need to put their foot in the ball and take the sting out of the game, or there is times when they need to up it.
Go.
There you go, do you want to?
Sorry.
Well, I tell you what, we are updating the game. Should we get hold your thought on that? There is an early goal to tell you about, though, in this Carabao Cup semi-final. Remember, Newcastle led 1-0 from the first leg. Early goal at St James's Park. Newcastle don't ever concede there. Have they conceded tonight, then, Michael?
No, they haven't. 4 minutes into the game, Jules, it's a great goal. Newcastle has been one-way traffic. The Geordies are going ballistic. Longstaff, he doesn't get many goals. He's been an unsung hero for Newcastle this year. He comes down the right, Trippier does magnificent. He chops inside, Kyle Walker-Peters in, he just lends it to Longstaff. He takes it on his right foot and he sends it straight across Gavin Bazzuno. He has no chance. A great bit of play from down the left-hand side, and the circuit all the way across from Emirates into Longstaff, down to Trippier. Yeah, chops inside, probably send him outside. One touch, puts it in Gavin Bazzuno's bottom right-hand corner. 2-0 up in the time, 1-0 on the night. Is that going to be the goal that sends him to the final? Time will tell.
Well, that was great information. I don't know how much of it you heard at home because we've got a few mic issues with Michael Dawson. But I kept you going. I could have stopped you, but I kept you going.
You've ever been, isn't it? The viewers are delighted it's not switched on.
For those who couldn't hear, it was Newcastle. It's Longstaff who's got it, and they are now firmly in control of this semi-final. 2-0. They lead. Man, they lead on aggregate. Hey, I don't know if you can still hear him, but it's 2-0. Chris, we stopped you when you were telling us about Jorginho. I mean, you're saying that good players can adapt to different teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the case with Jorginho. We've seen it. 2 years ago, we were talking about him running for the Ballon d'Or. And, you know, he has started the last few Chelsea games as well. It's a very good sign for me for Arsenal. I think, obviously, as Sue touched on, the injuries there. But it's not only that. I mean, we always speak about Arsenal in terms of how youthful they are. You can't beat experience, and bringing somebody like Jorginho in will help the youngsters around him. As I said, he is a winner. As Sue touched on there, he is a winner. He knows how to lead, and for me, I think it's a fantastic signing, and I'm sure he'll do really well. And what, £12 million? It's a good bit of business.
I mean, Clinton, we know that Chelsea are making lots of signings, still looking to strengthen before we close tonight with Enzo Fernandez. Even with Fernandez coming in, are you a bit surprised that they've let someone with such experience go?
Can you hear me?
I think we can.
Double check.
Sadly, yours is working, yeah.
I don't even need that. I don't even need the mic.
Well,
My
I
mouth's
thought
so
that,
big.
Clint.
I don't need it. But nah, I was surprised. But at the end of the day, Fernandez comes in. Probably long-term plan. Jorginho don't fit into that long-term plan. He's going to sign a 1.5 year deal at Arsenal. Listen, at first, I was one of those thinking, really, do Arsenal need him? But you know what? They are in this Premier League title race. They've got a great opportunity. With 10 games to go, they've got a lot of youngsters in there. They've got a serial winner in Jorginho. He'll take the ball, slow it down, and he'll also cause a lot of problems. And he'll be brilliant in there. And it's not every game Partey and Xhaka can play together. So having some of the experience like Jorginho has won a lot of things. I think it's a good signing. But I was one of those probably at the beginning thinking, did they really need him? We're going for Caicedo, a young 21-year-old who can get around the pitch, but Jorginho's got experience. And you've got to realise, I heard earlier, Jules, what Merce was saying. He made a good point. At the Euros, he was one of Italy's best players, and everyone was saying England need to develop a young player like Jorginho. He's an outstanding footballer. I think it's a great bit of business from Arsenal.
Just to bring a couple of quotes from the Arsenal hierarchy, which really sum up exactly what you've heard from our panel. Edu, the sporting director, saying that Jorginho is an established professional, a strong mentality who brings quality and experience into our squad, a player who fits our style of play, says Edu, and he joins at a very good moment where he can contribute in a key position to help maintain our momentum. Mikel Arteta, the manager, saying he's a midfield player with intelligence, deep leadership skills and a huge amount of Premier League and international experience too. He's won in his career, but he still has the hunger and huge willingness to contribute here. So there we go. That is Jorginho, a £12 million move. He is now an Arsenal player, having left Chelsea.